TNTM The Show presents Comicast 264 with your host,
Pablo Gunner,
and JD. And we are Talk Nerdy to Me, and we are here to talk nerdy about some comics for the week of December the 14th, 2016.
That's right.
And we have our own grading scale here: buy, skim, pass, with variations on buy and skim, strong buy, weak buy, strong skim, weak skim. And of course, our back and bag of the week, our best book, B-Bow.
Yep.
So we kind of go through and delve in a lot of spoilers, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be delving in a lot of spoilers for this week.
Yeah, so spoiler alert.
Yes. And we do have a tone here.
We do.
We have a 2-minute timer. It's 1 minute for when one of us is reviewing it, 2 minutes for when both of us are reviewing it, and I think on a couple of books this week we'll probably just cut a timer completely, because, man, there's a couple of books that just don't even deserve a timer.
That's what it is.
That's our timer for the week.
My only hint is it's video game related, so that's it. That's a tough one, so you get a hint this week. But if you know it, send it to me, hook you up with a free digital comic. Not ones from this week, because I'm going to be giving them all away, but from another week.
Yep.
So
we got you covered.
Yep.
Have we got a hold of Joel? Because
No.
Joel Valley, give us a holler. You got a comic book waiting, so give us a holler.
Yeah.
So let's get started on the week of the 14th.
Absolutely. So there's this book, which is not really. It's Red Sonja Zero, and they actually gave it to me for free. It's Dynamite, a Dynamite introductory priced issue, Red Sonja Zero, written by Amy Chu, illustrated by Carlos Gomez, colored by Mohan. And it's right away you get like a sweet booty shot. Like,
Word.
If there's anything I want in my comic for Red Sonja, it's these things, which is she looks hot and she's killing monsters and stuff.
I'm looking good while doing it.
Yes. So right away, that's what I get on the first page. It looks fantastic. It is cartoony, but man, she looks good. She's killing this crazy monster. There's this, magician there, and he does some spell on her. And then she wakes up, and she's in some tunnel, and it looks like there's train tracks, and you're like, what's going on? And she just ends up in, like, New York City or something like that.
Okay, so we have Red Sonja from the Conan the Barbarian age in current-day New York.
Yeah, so I'll get the number one to see what's about. I like Red Sonja. Amy Chu's a great writer. Carlos Gomez kills it with the art. Like I said, eye candy, you know. And that's not just her. It's like the monsters look great. Everything
the cityscape looks great.
Everything looks phenomenal in this book. So it's free, so I can't really say it's a strong buy, but
you can say whether or not you're going to pick up the next issue, which you did. So,
I did. So
it's a pickup instead of a review. It's we're going to pick this book up.
But definitely pick that one up.
Yeah.
I think it's a teaser, but nonetheless, and they have some extra art at the end. It's almost like a director's cut sort of, but preview.
So we have the Totally Awesome Hulk number. I didn't know the number on
13.
This is written by Greg Pak, artist by Luke Ross and German Perlotta, and color artist is J. David Ramos and Dono Sanchez Almera. And dog, I'm not your cheetah boy, buddy. But yeah, we have I guess this is kind of a slice of life type thing.
I guess this is Amadeus Cho, and he's in New York or something. I don't know where it is exactly, but yeah, he's shooting hoops, and it's because he's like calculating math and stuff like that, and to do it. And then Jeremy Lin shows up, and Jeremy Lin's kind of like, oh hey, let's do this, let's hang out. They go to his pad, they hang out, and that's what they do. And they end up fighting. They end up in this game.
Isn't it like
it's almost like a Monstars? Yeah. It kind of reminded me of like
Looney Tunes Space Jam,
Yes, it reminded me of Space Jam, except it's Amadeus Cho and Jeremy Lin, and it's funny because Jeremy Lin's like kicking butt even though he doesn't have powers.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then it turns out that they're like there to capture Jeremy Lin, and it's crazy because it's like Jeremy Lin was like, oh yeah, that's a charity event. We're doing this because,
this reason.
Because it's kind of like, I don't know, I kind of felt like they were trying to speak on certain people's behalf that take a knee and stuff. Is to say like, hey, this is our platform and we need to do something productive with it, and like that's good, but it just felt like a PSA to me.
Yeah, that's how this comic
like
has been
there
going.
is literally like, I feel like the whole cast in this book is Asian of some kind, and it's like I thought it was strong before, and now that you throw Jeremy Lin in there, I'm like, this is just now a PSA. I'm just reading a PSA.
Yeah, since the Civil War II tie-ins have stopped with this book, it's not as superior as it used to be, I guess is the best way to say it. I mean, it wasn't the best in the world before now, but I mean, it's definitely not the book we were picking up a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff where like he's fighting these dragon robots or whatever, and his sister contacts him and is like, "Oh, do this," and once again he's not listening.
Yeah.
Once again, it's that thing where he's just this book is
lather, rinse, repeat.
Is repeating itself, but not getting better. So it's definitely.
I'm probably gonna drop this book because it's not interesting me.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that it's I don't know. It still looks really great.
It looks beautiful, but
it looks fantastic. But the writing is just. It's just not there anymore.
Nope.
I don't even know if it was there ever.
Well, I don't care enough about this character to pick up the book anymore. I mean,
so it's like progression. Like
you're supposed to see a character
moving
grow.
Along, and it's just like I said, PSA.
No.
So I give it a week buy. I'm gonna go with the week buy.
I'll say a strong skim.
Week buy, and here's the digital code. Tell me what you think of it. D for Donatello, N for Nova, 5-8, M for Marvel, 5, E for Echo, 4, B for Bravo, N for Nova, W for Wesker, and D for Donatello.
All right, next you have the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #2.
Yes, I do. It's by IDW and DC working together. It's The Clown and the Clan. Writer Matthew K. Manning. Artist John Somariva. Inker Sean Parsons and Serge Lepointe. Colorist Leonardo Ito. So yeah, this one, it doesn't pick up at all where it left off. In fact, it goes into showing how Harley actually breaks Joker out. How she's the one that breaks him out. And then it's animated, so he's just an a-hole to her, even though he's the one that got her out. I mean, she's the one that got him out, And so they escape through those portals, they meet with Shredder, and they're just like, they're a-holes to him because they just don't like any type of authority, and so it doesn't work out.
When you read this, did you hear Hamill's voice right there? I mean,
yeah, okay. It looks pretty spot on. Then you have Robin and Batgirl show up, which is pretty cool. You can tell that there's like some sort of relationship going on between Robin and Batgirl.
Babs.
Yeah, it's cute. And then the crew ends up facing off against the animated Ninja Turtles. And it's funny because how like they're all kind of holding back, and they notice that, so they're like, oh well, maybe we're good. We're both good guys, And so they stop, and so I think it's where we're gonna start getting some team ups next. But it was neat.
Dude, the art style looks beautiful.
It is spot on, dude. That's the thing. Is like if you've been missing Batman,
if you missed the Bruce Timm
and
new Batman Adventures,
and you like the new Ninja Turtles, this is the perfect mashup right here. Because it's mashing them up, and it looks pretty green. I'm gonna say that by the end. But
speaking of green, we'll have to talk about the little rumor we've heard about the green later this cast.
Yeah, but anyways, it's fun and it's good and I like it and it's a blast. Like if you have kids, this is the perfect book for your kids, and if even for you too, like. If you grew up on Batman, you're going to love it. If you like the new Ninja Turtles, you're going to love it.
Yes, the art style is very reminiscent of the Bruce Timm new Batman Adventures. Not Batman the Animated Series, but the new Batman Adventures.
So I will give this one a strong buy.
Cool. Next up, we have Old Man Logan #15. It is the Monster War #2, or Part 2, written by Jeff Lemire, art by Felipe Andrade.
Yeah.
Okay. And color art by Jordi Belair. And of course, we left off with Logan and the whole Dracula thing. He's a vampire. I mean, that's kind of where we left off.
Well, he's fighting off the virus, the vampire virus. And even Dracula's like, you're old, so your body's probably having a really hard time right now. And he even goes saying that, like, you know, it's like his body's on fire.
And then you have Jubilation here, which is one of my favorite X-Men characters, if not the, because, well, yeah, the name is just awesome.
This art is very, like, I don't know, it's kind of messy, and it's very fast-paced, but there's subtleties in it, like, you can see certain emotions, like certain facial, you know, things that, like, Jubilee does that make a huge difference.
The shading is gorgeous in this. I like how the dark is just really reminiscent of the old Transylvanian vibe that you get, you know? You totally get this as a Dracula book.
And then Backup shows up because things are really bad. Everybody gets captured and stuff. And Backup shows up, which is pretty epic and pretty crazy. I don't really care about this team, but I think it's funny that they keep on calling him Old Man Logan, which kind of drives his anger, you know?
Yeah, instead of just saying, hey, Logan, it's just,
they called him Old Man Wolverine.
Hey, old man, what's up?
They call him Old Man Wolverine. It's pretty funny. But yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, it turns out really good. It turns out really awesome. You know, happy ending and everything like that. To the point where it's even like, you know, I never thought I would see you again, and here we are. So I'm happy now that we can have this again.
I wonder if Old Man Logan and Jubilee are going to have some Luke Cage coffee.
So, no. He's old. But yeah, it's, I don't know. What did you think of it?
I thought it was a pretty good read. Again, I'm a big fan of the old Tomb of Dracula versus the X-Men comics. This is a little reminiscent of that from the 80s, so it did play a little nostalgia factor on that. The art style, I'm not a big fan of this style, although it does fit the story. So I'll give it a buy.
I thought it was just like too confusing at points and a little messy and erratic, the art was. It does fit, but it's like, I don't know, there's just something missing from it, so I give it, I don't know, it had heart at the end, and there was some litter throughout, but for the most part, I didn't care about most of the characters, you know. But this time I was genuinely like, is he gonna be able to survive this? Is he gonna be able to pull this off, you know? So that was one thing as well. Yeah, I'll give it a buy.
Here's your digital
here's
code.
Your code. F for Familia, C for Carlos, M for Marcos, L for Lupita, S for Señorita, K for, I don't know, K, kill, 0, 2, N for Novela, I for Inigo, like Inigo Montoya, and then 1.
We have Batgirl and the Birds of Prey #5. This will be our halfway point right there. This is Julie Benson and Shauna Benson writing. Is it Roge or Rog?
Roge Antonio, I guess.
Roge Antonio is the artist. And Alan Pascalagua did the colors on this. And we're continuing with the Who is the Oracle storyline.
Foracle.
And we find out who the Oracle is.
Which is this dude, which I was disappointed. I was hoping he was going to be like a chick that was really obsessed that would then become part of the team. But it's a dude.
Who's fangirling over Oracle.
Yes.
Like straight up. Like enough to where
creepy stalker status. He has like
he knows who Oracle
original
is.
Suit. He has like all kinds of memorabilia of hers, batarangs. You know, he knows all kinds of stuff about it. He's like his backstory of how he was a hacker and he was just like not satisfied with that.
He even goes through and says, "Hey, I kind of know the deal about Batman. He's like 6 people, right?" And she's like, yeah. We'll just go with that. Yeah, he's 6 people."
There's a weird moment though where like she just randomly goes into the bathroom and she's like looking at herself. Yeah,
am I the Oracle with the glasses?
She comes out and then she's like, all right. She pulls it together and makes a decision. And she's like, all right, I'm just going to be Oracle on this one while you two go take care of business. and then the reveal at the end was pretty, like, the reveal at the end put it over the top for me, where I was like, that's a good reveal, man. Like, that's the thing is, we knew about it, I think, right? Since the last issue.
Mm-hmm.
But, or at least there was some hint.
Yes.
And in this one, the full reveal to the character that it affects the most, and she's like, I can't go through with this because of who it is. So it's pretty crazy. It looks good. I was disappointed with the reveal of who Oracle was. I don't know why. I was just hoping he was going to be another lady. I mean, it is a dude.
I mean, it will bring up some dichotomy and diversity in the team itself.
Yeah, that is true.
But, I mean, this is a chick book, and I want to see strong female characters in this, and we got this dumb, goofy male guy
who's just like a creepy stalker, and I'm like...
He's like the kind of guy that you expect to hack somebody's, iCloud or something like that,
Yeah. So, what do you give it?
I'll give it a weak buy, actually.
Yeah. That ending, man, really, really did it for me. Picked it up a lot higher. I'm gonna give it a buy. I think I would have ended up on a weak buy, but that ending was just, the reveal was top notch. It looks amazing all the way through. No doubt. We'll see how things go with this Foracle here on out, because I don't think Babs really likes
somebody trying to steal her thunder.
Yeah, or just
or maybe we'll see her training.
Maybe.
We never know. All right, next we have Hawkeye numero uno, written by Kelly Thompson. Artist is Leonardo Romero, and the color artist is Jordi Belair. And this is a pretty decent book from what I was reading of it.
It's a unique intro page too. I like that. Her doing like some PI stuff, even though she's not an official PI, she's like doing it under the table type thing. And then she sees that there's a robbery going on while she's doing a job, and so she's like, I better suit up and stop this.
Well, did you see the actual credits page at the beginning? It looks like one of Jessica Jones's files for her.
Yeah.
I love that little touch.
That touch, it was so unique and really cool. And they even do like a Point Break thing here with the ex-presidents and stuff of the surfers that are robbing a bank and stuff. And then she gets back to her office, and it's just a lot of people who think that she's either the other Hawkeye or that she is an optometrist because she has like an eye, as her symbol. And then she gets back to finding out about this guy. I don't know that she ends up working with this guy, but I think the guy that she ends up working with is the actual guy. But I don't know.
We'll see about that one.
Because she does catch a guy that is being a creep, because there's a chick that hires her that's like, hey, this guy's stalking me and harassing me online, and I'm just trying to do like my blog or whatever. Can you help me out with this and stuff? Like at first it wasn't that bad, but it's been escalating. And so she thinks she caught the person, and it may have been the person, but there's more to this.
We'll see about it.
So,
I mean, for her first issue, it was really good. It gives you really into the story.
It gives you a lot of info.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of info about this character and what this person's like. Kind of gives you a little vibe on what they're going to go through via theme on the book. And, it's quite enjoyable. I'll pick up issue number 2.
It was wordy. That's my only, tiff. But it wasn't, horrible. So, I'm going to give it a buy. I think it has potential to be a strong buy.
Yes.
But just for a first issue, it was a solid first issue, but, it's not I'm totally in love with this.
Exactly.
So, that's why it ends up being a buy for me.
Agreed. It is a buy for me as well.
So, here's a digital code. Why don't you read it off, senor?
Ooh.
Let's see what you got.
So, we have a digital code here. It is F as in Foxtrot, C as in Charlie, M as in Mike, 733, N as in November, T as in Tango, T as in Tango, F as in Foxtrot, E as in Echo, and G as in Golf. Yes, I am using NATO phonetics.
All right, cool.
Next up, we have Flash number 12. It is the Speed of Darkness Part 3, written by Joshua Williamson. Davide? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Davide Gianfelice
is the artist.
Ivan Placencia and Christopher Sotomayor as colorists.
And it's the conclusion of the whole Shade, Wally West type thing where they're all trapped in the shadow world and stuff. And
it didn't seem like it was going to be, though. Like,
no.
they are in some dire straits
it's some pretty hardcore stuff here.
And, like, they're, like, getting overwhelmed with the darkness, and they're like, Barry's like, well, let's just vibrate through. And he's like, I don't know how to do that, and I don't want to try that right now.
And Mina was going to teach me how to do that, but she's kind of gone now. So
it really does bug me, though, that Barry will not... Like, he knows everything about Kid, but he doesn't... But not vice versa.
I love the running gag where Wally's like, hey, you're Jeff, right?
Oh, the running gag where he's trying to figure out his name.
Oh,
yes.
You're Ivan.
Yes, he's coming up with names. That was funny. I think it is kind of weird that he calls him Kid Flash. I wish he would just call him Kid, sort of. Yeah. And it would be kind of like a running thing where he's like, I like it, but I don't like it, you know. But yeah, so they find another way. In fact, it's Kid Flash that figures out, he does like this electrical burst almost.
Yeah, he hulks out.
It's pretty sweet, and so that like scares him off. And then, what's her name?
Iris and Hope.
Is it not Patty? Iris. Yeah, Iris she's actually fighting it off, and so they go to her in that moment, and they come up with an idea to create more light, which is like fist bump. It was pretty sweet. Yeah. It's cool, and then they just end up
in the conclusion. They end up back into the city of Central City, and Shade is like, "Hey, take care of that wife of yours." And Bear's like, "Wife? Huh?
What are you talking about?
What's going on?" And then the Shade and Hope kind of just vanish into the nether realm or whatever it is, Shade World, Shadow World, whatever.
Yeah.
And Wally and Iris go back to their thing. Barry kind of runs off and says, "Hey, well, let me tell you something. I was named after my granddad. That's how you do it."
That's your tip, and he's like, "Oh," or that's your hint. So,
yeah. So bye, Lance. So at the end, we actually see the progression of Barry as a character because he kind of has the cojones to go and ask out Iris on a date. So, I mean, not really a cliffhanger or anything like that, but something to look forward to. Hey,
yeah, I like the progression of like the personal life, not just the
Flash, but Barry as well.
Yeah, for sure. So, strong buy and contender.
Yep, strong buy and contender for me.
And I mean, this art is not exactly pretty to look at, but it works really well. That's my thing, though. Is like, I don't know. It's a strong buy.
Next up, we have Power Man and Iron Fist.
Yes.
I was disappointed because I was really looking to see Senior Magico in this.
Power Fist. Me too. In fact, I thought it was him at one point, but then it wasn't.
It wasn't him.
But yeah, Power Man Iron Fist 11. David F. Walker as a writer. Sanford Green as the artist. Lee Lowridge as color artist. And so this one, I don't know, this one kind of jumps around a lot from different people's narratives. So it makes it a little bit difficult to follow because of that. Because before it was just from Luke Cage
and Iron Fist.
And it was from their point of view. Now it would still go to other people, but it wasn't like from their narrative. And so that's what made it the most confusing. Now, so this old team that we got introduced to last time, they're kind of broken and they're all different ways. And so, like, there's different people. There's new players. There's Black Cat. There's this new guy that used to be one of the Runaways, but also the villain of the Runaways. Yeah. And so he's recruiting the team that was broken up before, and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's I feel for some of the characters though. That's one thing though, is that you do see it from one of the characters and how this situation went bad and it's not going his way, and so unfortunately he's getting wrapped up in this BS because of the way things happened. But it was a bad guy that actually did it and set it up so that he would be forced to do that. So he's just playing into his hands. So I don't know. I hate this character. I hate him so much. I hated him in Runaways, and I hate him even now. But it's one of those things where it's like I hate him because he annoys me, and he's a betrayer and he's a backstabber, and that's why I hate him. It's not because I just hate the way he's being done. I feel like he's being done well. I'm just wondering where these powers are coming from and all this stuff like that. And they go into it. They're teasing it like, oh yeah, there's worse things than death, and oh, I sent you to hell, and he has these powers, and you're like, where? I don't remember him having those. I thought he was just like an evil genius, or just a genius, like strategist type. And so, yeah, it's not bad, but I feel like it could be better, especially since it's confusing with the different jumping around narratives.
Yeah, if it was from just one point of view, I would have enjoyed it a lot more efficiently, or maybe even just the dichotomy of Power Man or Iron Fist's point of views.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's a good well drawn book.
Yeah, it looks great.
The style of the art still fits. The villain's good.
I want to see more Black Cat.
Oh yeah.
And I love that one. How that one dude's like, big booty and tiny waist is gonna get you in trouble.
A little in the middle, but she got much back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna give this a buy. Just a buy.
I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to agree this time, unfortunately. So
I want to see your magical title though.
I want to see more of him.
Yeah.
I was hoping to see him in here. I thought it was him, and it wasn't. So, but yeah. Here's a digital code if you want to check it out for yourself. F for Fandango, C for Carlos, M for Mechanic, E for Encino, D for Diego 4, X for X-Men, N for Nova, D for Donatello, T for Tomas, and Z for Zorro, B for Bravo.
And I picked up Superwoman number 5. It is written and drawn by Phil Jimenez, inks by Matt Santorelli, and colors by Jerome Cox and Tony Avina. And it picks up shortly after the last issue. I mean, we have the whole Ultra Woman, which is Lena Luthor kind of getting into the power suit and stuff. I mean, it's the art in that is just hardcore awesomeness. And then she's got this little army of Ultra Woman, Bizarro Ultra Woman, and it's just a lot. It's a lot of exposition. I mean, a ton of it. And you have Steel and Lana Lang trying to defend against this, and they're just kind of formulating a plan. And we come to find out that Lena Luthor needs a power source that is Superwoman, and so in the end, Lana is facing off against 2 Ultra Women, including the one that killed Lois Lane, and one of them shapeshifts into her, and maybe you have this clone Ultra Woman going, "Hey, fix her." But is it Lana Lang, the real Superwoman, or is it the clone? Is it the shapeshifter? We don't know. Other than that, I think it's a beautifully drawn book, well written, good story. It's keeping me in suspense, making me want to purchase it again. So strong buy, contender for me.
Looks good, sounds good. And you know what that means? Time for a commercial break.
Yep, we are here to talk about comics, though. The Comic-Con.
Yup.
So, in January 13th, the weekend of January 13th here in Albuquerque, we will have Albuquerque Comic-Con.
That's right, January 13th through 15th. The guests are just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
For the top guests, we have Tom Sizemore. He's been in all kinds of war movies. Dave Ellefson.
From Megadeth.
Austin St. John, who was the Red Power Ranger.
Jason.
Original. Yeah. Ryan Hurst. And Ric Flair, which I'm pretty excited about Ric Flair. I want to do some some wrestling trash talking videos with him. And of course, there's a lot more. You pretty much have the cast of Karate Kid.
Ralph Macchio.
And the Outsiders.
My wife's like, "Hey, you got to get me an autograph of Ralph Macchio." It's like, you can do it yourself.
Yeah. And then, Barb. There's going to be quite a few people from Stranger Things, which is really cool. That's new. That's recent. So that's cool that we're getting all those people.
We have Rob Liefeld's going to be there.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Kel from Keenan and Kel. Also, not Magic Mike 2, Be Like Mike or 2, I think.
Like Mike?
Yeah. And then AZ Power Girl, Chelsea Von Chastity, cosplay guests. Just so many. And there's metalheads, there's
Rex Brown from Pantera is going to be there.
There's all kinds of actors. We're just tipping the iceberg. We'll talk about it more.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's for Friday passes it's $20, $25 at the door. Saturday passes $30, $35 at the door. Sunday passes $25, $30 at the door. 3-day pass $60. Not available after January 12th though, so you have to get on that
pre-order.
ASAP. Yeah. Kids passes under 6 free. So just all your kids are under 6. Make sure that. Or if they're 6 to 13, $5 per day. VIP standard is $100, platinum $250, and so you get all kinds of stuff. And then there's costume contests Friday and Sunday.
Yep. And we will be covering as much as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to have a blast. It's going to be so much fun.
And if you are listening to the podcast or viewing the podcast or what we're doing here, and you're going to be attending Albuquerque Comic Con, let us know so we can meet you and say, hey, how are you liking the Comicast? How are you liking the Comic Con? I mean, we love to interact with you. So if you've been seeing the videos that Pablo here has been posting recently, we had a blast at Santa Fe Comic Con.
I'm not even done. I'm actually working on the Dark Side versus Light Side video right now.
That was good.
Yeah, it was really good. So, yeah, that's what's coming out. That trivia video, that'll be coming out next. Hopefully, sometime this week. I did get like 2 videos out in 1 week.
Yeah.
Well, I've been getting a lot of content too, but we'll talk about that more at the end.
So
go onto the website and stuff.
The Facebook
page. AlbuquerqueComicCon.com, as well as their Facebook page. Follow their stuff.
They're giving away
all
tickets.
The updates. They have raffles. They have share contests going on.
They're always announcing new guests. I mean, yeah. And again, there's going to be some local artists there. So if you're looking for some tattoo ink and you need an artist to get done, this may be a good opportunity for you.
I will say this is one it will definitely be worth the 3-day at the least, and if depending on how hardcore you are, VIP.
Yeah.
So ready?
We're ready.
All right, Green Lantern's Light.
We have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps numero 10.
Yep.
This is written by Robert Venditti. Art by Ed Benes. And Jason Wright did the colors. And we are picking back up where we were with some of the Corps trapped in one of Brainiac's bottles.
Yes. Now the art is different, and I could tell that right away.
But it's not bad at all.
It's not bad, and that's not an issue because this issue focuses on the Hal Jordan stuff and Kyle Rayner mostly.
3 different storylines in this one. We have the bottle, we have Kyle, we have Hal. That's kind of where it goes.
But because, like I said, this one focuses mostly on Hal, and it had in the past.
Space.
This built, the Emerald. Yeah, it works really good. And these Guardians or ex-Guardians are really pushing Kyle to his limits to bring back Hal, which everybody knows. Like, hey, and I love that it was how Hal is meeting the past.
He's meeting all these dead Green Lanterns.
Yes, and he's, how Tomar-Re, he's like, Tomar 2, your son is filling your boots really well.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
And he's like, oh man, I wish I could tell him, how proud I am, and all this other stuff.
Kilowog's there, isn't he?
No.
It looked like Kilowog, I'm sorry.
Kilowog was at the beginning. He's still around, but yeah, so
Kyle's pushed to his limit, rips Hal right out of the ring, he's like, oh, I'm here!
So the way that everything's going, really cool, really interesting, and
who Brainiac's working for is beyond my expectation. Beyond it. Maybe this was a great book. The reveal at the end, just well worth it. I mean...
Yeah, keep it in the Lantern family, So...
Strong buy.
Contender. It looks absolutely amazing. Everything about it. Like I said, this one was Hal focused, but it still had, like we said, those other parts. Absolutely strong buy and contender.
All right. Next up, we have Silk numero 15, or Silkworm, maybe.
Silkworm,
Yeah, because that's kind of her name now.
Said. Yeah, that her new or in that suit or whatever. That's what the boyfriend calls her. The writer is Robbie Thompson. Artist different, or it might be. I think it might be the same artist as the last issue, which is Irene Strachalski. Colorist Ian Herring and Irma Navilla.
And then we have Silk.
Fighting against Spider-Woman.
Maddie Franklin, who we haven't seen in ages because she's been kind of dead for a while. At least since the Spider-Verse.
Yes, there's all these people popping up who are supposed to be dead that are not dead. You have that Spider-Woman, you have Doc Ock, you have...
And they are dead, but these are the original people because of the new You thing. Again, this is a Clone Conspiracy tie-in, which we will probably cover in full once the 4th issue comes out. Because, again, it's so good. Parts 1, 2, and 3, when you read them together, are just fantastic. So I want to read the whole set and review that event. But we see Electro, who's for some reason a female in this now.
Yeah, I was going to say that's definitely different.
Yeah, really weird. But, I mean, we have JJ in here talking to his family. I mean, it's just an extremely weird and messed up book, but it's an enjoyable ride. So if you've been following Silk, continue reading it. If you've been following the Clone Conspiracy, even better. Pick this up because this will add a little bit more sprinkle and more information to it.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was too lost with this book because I'm not reading any of the other
Clone
stuff.
Conspiracy.
And I don't know about vice versa, though. I doubt that you would feel lost.
If I'm reading the Clone Conspiracy books, this really doesn't have too much effect on it. The only plot line that kind of threadily connects is the JJ plot.
Yeah, which JJ does give her a tour of this place and introduces his new family.
Old new family?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, it's interesting stuff. I like the way it looks. It works. I don't know. I just don't really... I'm just not really... I don't know. I just... Like, I care about her and her boyfriend, but I'm not really...
Into this clone...
Into this clone stuff, yeah. So,
it's not for some people. It is definitely not for some people. I don't like this aspect of the Clone Conspiracy plot, but the other aspects of it are for me. Like the main line.
Okay.
So I personally give this issue a weak buy, but again, that's because I feel that this does not contribute to the Clone Conspiracy plot, nor does it really further along too much on City Moon stuff.
A little bit, but not too much, yeah. So I'm going to give it a buy. Like I said, it looks great, and it's not bad. So... But, why don't you read off another digital code, Senor?
Ooh. So, digital code. F for Foxtrot, C is in Charlie, M is in Mike, P is in Papa, C is in Charlie, K is in Kilo, J is in Juliet, U is in Uniform, X is in X-Ray, the number 4, I is in India, T is in Tango. Let us know what you think.
Ready to be reborn for the 3rd time?
I guess so.
It is Reborn by Image. Writer Mark Millar. Penciler Greg Capullo. Inker Jonathan Galapion. And so this one is kind of... There's this guy, and he's flying on an elephant... that he gave like mechanical wings, and the dad is like, "Oh, wave to him. That's the mechanic that we used to have." And then it gets eaten by this dragon that has a lion head, and which really made me wonder, like, okay, so if you die, does that mean that you're reborn in our world? Like it's a back and forth type of thing, or how does it work? I'm confused. But anyways, they don't go into that. Maybe we'll get to that someday or eventually. They also show like this memorial for, the lady that they had met in the last issue. and then they get captured because she doesn't really have any powers yet. Apparently, she's supposed to be really powerful because she was a good person. Which these bad guys show up, and that's what confuses me more is like these guys are bad guys, and I wonder, well, they're not. If they were bad guys in the previous life, would they be weak? Because they said like, oh, if you're a really good person in the other life, you're really powerful in this world. So were they good and then they decided to go bad, or what? Because there seems to be a lot of that going on where it's like bad, where there's bad people that are powerful. But even more so than that, like they get captured and then she starts figuring out her powers slowly but surely. So I'm getting more sucked in. I'm getting more interested as it goes on. I want to see her powers develop and see how she becomes more powerful and strong and stuff. So yeah, looks amazing, really interesting, brings up a lot of interesting stuff, looks superb. So I have to give it a strong buy.
Strong buy. So we have Inhumans versus X-Men #1. Writers are Charles Soule and Jeff Lemire. Pencils by Leniel Francis Yu. And inks by Jerry Aguilera. Yeah.
Alanguilan.
Yeah. And David Creel is the colorist. And basically this is kind of a call to arms book, more or less, is how I felt it was.
Well, the Zero set up for this really well,
yes.
So there's that. But this one, it starts with, it starts with a lot of this beast getting everybody together and saying, hey, our time is up. The time for the truce is up, and something's going to happen. I fear for this. And all the X-Men are like, yeah. And so he's going to warn...
He's going to go warn the
Inhumans. And the person who stops him, that was a
shocker.
It was a shocker, yes.
That's to put it mildly. It was a shocking experience.
It was, but I understood it, though, at the same time. I went, like, that's a huge betrayal because of their past and everything, but... It made sense.
I love the use of Dazzler in this. Oh man, Dazzler was so well used.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but yes, that was unforeseen and that was really interesting. That was really great.
Emma had this perfect idea for a plan, and I gotta say, it's brilliant and it's working out great for her.
Yes, it looks. Oh man, this just looks so perfect. I felt like so many of the characters were so well done, but I think that it's. I don't know. Oh, there's also Marvel Girl, and I like her new look, except for that the mask goes all the way up to like the top of her her hairline, and I'm like, why? That's weird.
Pull the old classic X-Factor.
Just pull it down, but the rest of it looks like I just love it because it's like a combination of like classic and
Marvel
new.
Girl and Phoenix. And all merged together. Yeah, it's good.
Magneto is freaking awesome and hardcore, and even like.
Phantom X,
and we have Johnny Storm, and it is about to go down, and it looks epic. Like
it's like, why couldn't Civil War 2 be like this?
That was my whole thought. I was going down. I thought that the exact same thing the whole way reading this. I was like, this is what it should have been the whole time, and I kind of feel like I don't know. That was intentional, though. I think they went out of their way to make Civil War 2 different from Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're going, well, you know what? We're not going to offer a war, even though it's called that. This is going to be the war, even though it's not even called a war. It's just Inhumans versus X-Men.
Like Batman versus Superman.
Which kind of, which it's like,
wouldn't this be like the mutants in Human War? I mean,
but regardless,
this is a strong buy. Pick this up. This is a contender. This is well worth your money.
That's it right there. And same here. Here's a digital code: Q for Quill, J for Johan, H for Hotel, 90, X for X-Ray, A for Anvil, N for Negatron, 8, L for Logan, M for Monk.
Righty, so you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #65.
Yes, indeed, I do. by IDW. Story, Kevin Eastman, Bobby Curnow, and Tom Waltz. Script, Tom Waltz. Art, Mateus Santo Luoco. Color artist, Rhonda Pattison. And the colors were on point in this. How they're all the different shades, like classic style.
Oh yeah.
So it's very easy to know who's who.
Without
if you know, yeah. Because actually, Leo's like he doesn't even wear his he has his mask around his neck most of the time just because he's like depressed. But anyways, Mikey is planning this party for them, a Christmas party, much needed. Donnie's like going all out with the Christmas lights because he's like, I'm gonna do it up, and Raph's like, I need to get out of here, and they have like this Triceratops dinosaur pet, which I don't really know how or why it's around, but it is what it is. And I read all the extra stuff except for Bebop and Rocksteady Destroy Everything. Maybe that's where they got it. I don't know. Because that was the only one I never read all the way. But yeah, they're talking to Jones. Anyways, while Raph is talking to Jones, Pete finds out from, Pigeon Pete finds out, so that means the Mutanimals find out. Harold gets the invite. All these people get the invite. People show up, and it's this huge surprise. It's so funny. It's so good. This was a well-needed issue. This was perfectly timed. This was, how it's about friends and it's about family and it's about
big contrast from the whole Splinter thing.
Right, but it works, and at the same, I love it because at the end, well, I'm not going to spoil it yet. So yeah, it just turns out to be like what this book needed, absolutely, and I can't wait to see the future of it. And it's
a strong buy. It's a contender.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's consistent.
Anything I am consistent.
Yeah, dude. Every time you read this, you should look at your face, man.
But that's because of the book.
It's just you just light up like a kid on Christmas Day every time that book comes out. So, all right, we have Action Comics number 969. Dan Jurgens is the writer. Patrick Ziricher is the artist. Rob Lee is the letterer, and Erif
Prianto
is the colorist. And again, we're continuing where the Superman is looking for Lex Luthor.
Now, this is an art change, and that's something I noticed right away.
But again,
I think it's better.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it better. I feel like there's this. There's something about this art that made it way more personal for me. I think just because it focuses more on, there's more close-ups, there's more facial expressions, and as well as it goes into the backstory of one of these
villains.
One of these villains, how he's been questioning this.
No, he's not really a villain if you read this backstory.
Yeah, and that was really great. How he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm tired of killing people. I'm tired of having blood on my hands. And they're like, you're doing this for the greater good. You're saving all these people. And he's like, but I couldn't even save the people that I care about most, which is wife and daughter. Yeah. And so, but they find, I don't know if they tell him a lie, but they find a way to suck him back in and be like, no, we have one more, and this is the most important one, and it's Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor just keeps on feeding him, because he's a smart guy, and he's a man of logic. I also love the way that Clark does, his
detective skills.
Kind of, which is his
reporter
skills. Yes, yeah. Reporter intuition, and he's like, I have to save this Lex Luthor, even though he's the one that has been the whole time. I do not. I'm waiting for him to go bad. But he hasn't showed signs of going bad yet, and he seems like he's trying to be better, and that is very true. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't like to depend on Superman. And this one, he's kind of given in and been like, all right, fine. I have to depend on him to save me.
Yep.
So it is strong buy.
Yep.
It is a contender.
Yep.
Like I said, this one.
It's kind of a slow one, but the story is well worth it.
I felt like this is exactly what I was missing from this story arc.
Yeah, it was the exposition.
Because now I care. Because didn't I say that where I said, I don't care about these villains.
Yeah.
Give me a reason to care. And now I care.
They got it.
Now, one of them, I still kind of don't care, but I know where he's coming from. Whereas the one, I know completely where he's coming from, and that he's not entirely a bad guy. You know? So, like I said, strong by contender.
Yep. Next up, we have Spider-Man number 10. This is a Civil War II tie-in, which we should be almost done with those here in a little bit, considering Civil War II should be...
This might be the last one.
Over at the end of the month by. Brian Michael Bendis is the writer. Nico Leon is the artist. The color artists are Marte Garcia and Rachel Rosenberg. And yeah, it was. This was a really weird book. I was reading through it and then not knowing what to expect. And we get Genki kind of going into the dorm. He runs into Miles, and Miles is having like an emotional breakdown. I mean, he's just bawling. And he's like, "Hey, what's going on? Tell me what happened." And he kind of goes over the events of, Ulysses showing everybody that he killed Cap, how he felt it, how he felt everything, and he's just running through it. Basically the events of Civil War number, what was it, 5, 7? I done lost count again. But where he was on the Capitol, and then the police left. Cap goes up, and they had a nice conversation. Captain Marvel comes in, and he's just telling the story, and then other people kind of join in.
Fabio as well.
Yeah,
Gold balls.
They all join in, and there's this big, including Kamala. Kamala's in there too, and we get this big emotional thing at the end. It really spoiled the entire outcome of Civil War II in one panel, and the whole story was just fantastic. I mean,
which we thought that might be the case, just because the way that all the other post Civil War II books have been, but we understand too that we're like, unless you see it,
it's not true.
It's not happening, and we saw it. Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. That's that.
I don't know if I should post this panel on the Facebook community or not, because man, that panel is just beautiful and sad and just heartbreaking. Regardless, I don't care if you like Miles Morales or not. I don't care if you're liking the Civil War II thing. This is a book you should pick up. Period. Strong by Contender.
Strong by Contender, indeed. Why don't you read off the digital code, senor?
Ooh, we have a digital code here. So whoever gets this digital code, review this comic in the comments here, please. All right, we have K as in Kilo, W as in Whiskey, 9, U as in Uniform, C as in Charlie, A as in Alpha, X as in X-Ray, A as in Alpha, N as in November, P as in Papa, 2, B as in Bravo. Man, that was such a good book, man. Alrighty. So you have Detective Comics.
946.
Jeez, I lost the number on that.
The Victim Syndicate.
And is the Victim Syndicate with part 4 or 5?
James Tynion IV is the writer. Eddie Barrows as pencils. Iber Ferreira as inks. Julio Ferreira as finishes, pages 14 through 16. And Adriano Lucas as colors.
Part 4.
Yeah, Death Wish.
And this was a weird book. Don't you agree on that? I mean,
okay, well, it started with Bruce talking to
one of the Victim Syndicate?
To
or is it Tim? It was Tim. That's right.
Yeah, to Tim, and
we see a lot of Tim in this.
It is like so good. Like that was so great. Just like the hope that was put in that cup, overfloweth. And then
we have Spoiler getting PTSD style images of Tim just kind of being there. I mean,
yeah,
that's really weird, but grief can do weird things to you.
And yeah, they face off against this, and Batman's like, we finish this tonight. And everybody's facing off against them. I mean, Batwoman was hardcore. She was awesome. Like, everybody's really great in this. Batwing, all of them, like, even Clayface is like, I'm sorry about this.
Mudface.
Yes.
Mudface, not Clayface. It's Mudface now.
What?
Yep, he calls himself Mudface.
No, I thought that was the name of the lady.
That's what he calls himself in this.
What? No, I thought that was the name of the girl.
That's what he says.
I'm pretty sure.
This is Mudface.
I'm pretty sure.
I may have been mistaken.
I think so.
But regardless, it's becoming a team book, and they're feeling the loss of Tim. And,
yeah, that was for the lady.
Oh, it's for her? Okay.
Yeah. But, it was... it's a somber, like there's having victory, but it's like a somber victory. It almost feels like a hollow victory. But and then somebody shows up at the end, and I'm like,
what's gonna happen here?
Yeah, what's gonna happen? Like, I think that's the victim syndicate's trump card.
Is turning someone within the family into a victim, I guess.
I think so.
And that's probably the best way to put it. So, personally, I'd give this a strong buy. It is a contender for me because I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. I can't wait to get the next issue. Everything was so good. It was like that first part was like sucked me in so well. I love the way that the capes are drawn in this book too. Like Batman's cape and Batwoman's cape, they look so cool. How they have like ridges or something. Like it just looks so
well
cool.
drawn.
So much detail. Yeah, mind-blowingly looks great. So strong buy contender.
And I have one more book. I have The Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 2.
Number 2.
And it is written by Jerry Conway. Ryan Stegman is the artist. Sonia Oback is the colorist. And we kind of have where Mary Jane has this suit that kind of pulls Peter's powers. And she can be kind of like Spider-Man. We have Mayday, or Annie Mae, whatever you want to call her, because that's her name in this, Annie Mae. She's about, 8 or 9, something like that. And it's just kind of a down-at-home type thing. Mary Jane kind of goes and helps Peter on this nice little thing he's dealing with some bad guys. It's a good, down-to-earth family Spider-Man comic book. I mean, if you were a fan of what was going on during the Clone Saga in the 90s, speaking to people like me, because I'm one of the rare people that love it, this is your book. This is where your Spider-Man left off, and we're picking back up with that Spider-Man with the kid and stuff. So if you like it, this is one of your other books. I give it a strong buy. I give it a contender. We have the Mole Man making an appearance here. So, yeah, it harkens back to the earlier days. So I picked this up. So, Bebout Town?
Bebout Time.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You probably already know what mine are.
Well,
everybody probably knows what mine are if they listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with TMNT 65, but it's going to be my runner-up. Like I said, it was perfect, well-timed. I love all the characters in it. It was so well. This was my favorite part, though. Here's why I loved it so much. So, like they leave cookies out for Santa and everything, and Santa leaves them a gift. Turns out it's actually Splinter that was the one that left him gifts, and I just love that. Like, he still loves them, but he's just in a bad place right now, And but just perfect. But,
I think we're going to probably end up agreeing on our B-Vows.
Double perfect is possible. Spider-Man 10 Civil War 2 tie-in. For me, the best thing was that Miles says, I could feel my hands around the neck of Captain America. Like, I could feel the life leaving his body as I was choking to death. I could hear and feel the crunch of the chainmail around his neck. And he said, everyone thinks that that's beyond me, but I always thought that I was more like my uncle who was Prowler. And even my dad said he was just as bad as my uncle back in the day. And he's like, I'm so afraid that I'm
gonna
be them. That I'm just going to become them. Especially thinking that he used to have so much in common with his uncle. Turns out he actually has a lot in common with his dad, too, because his dad used to be like his uncle. That he's like, you all think that I'm not beyond this? I am. Like, that's what I'm so afraid of. That this could have been real. And then, of course, the biggest spoiler right here. Instead of that, he holds Tony Stark's dead body in his arms. Not because of him. Maybe kind of because of him. Kind of because of him because he's the one that went there.
Yeah.
He's the one that went to DC.
If he hadn't gone to DC, then
put these people in that position that this would fight.
The right area.
Exactly. So if it was not for him, Who knows? But that's something that we've also seen is that with the whole Civil War II, I think it was issue 6 or 7, I don't remember, but it was the one with Ulysses, and he saw the Old Man Logan timeline, and it was like, oh yeah, they're gone.
It's all because of Tony.
And it's all because of Tony, and it's like, that doesn't make sense. Tony's dead. So that's not their timeline. Like, that's, you were looking into Old Man Logan's timeline, not this one. So you're all screwed up. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, I think we have one more issue of Civil War 2, so that makes me, I want to know more.
I want to see the resolution now.
Yes. Because, I mean, we saw this, but I want to see 100% of it, not just the end result. So, so much of this was just mind-blowingly great. So, yeah.
My runner-up would be Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 10. Beautifully drawn, beautifully written. It tells the story that I want to see, and it progresses the story efficiently on 3 different fronts at the same time. So that's one of those things. Of course, my B-bow. I'm not going to even say it because Spider-Man. My thing that got me about this is when Genki was talking to Miles. He goes, "Hey, what if Cap is really the bad guy here?" I was like, cha-ching, you got it. That's it. That's exactly what's going on. And nobody realizes it.
And to think, but that's what's so superb about this. Okay, is that okay when you factor in all of Ulysses and his powers and everything like that? It almost seems like his powers are based on the thoughts of people, like what they might do. Because we had that with Luke Cage, where he said, "I thought about breaking you off. I didn't do it, but I thought about doing it. Maybe that's what created this vision of his." Same thing. Miles said, "Maybe I could be this person." And especially when Genki says, "Oh, maybe Cap is the bad guy," and I thought, maybe you are supposed to be like that. Should have happened because what had happened if
Hydra had taken over the world at that point because there was Hydra flags everywhere.
But what would have happened if everyone knew, and that's what I wonder about the last issue of Civil War, and if we're actually ever going to find out
that Cap
was the orchestrator of Civil War II, and so I go, maybe you should have done that because he was the bad guy, but you don't know that, and if you did know that, would you have done that though?
Yeah.
And that's even crazier to think is maybe he would have choked the life out of Hail Hydra Steve Rogers if he would have known that he was the reason that caused all this. Because we don't know, like, what took him to that point. Like,
exactly. What was the events leading up to it?
Was it the death of Tony Stark that made him go, "I'm going to choke the life out of you"?
Yeah.
He knew.
You killed Tony.
It just blows there's so many elements of this book that blows my mind, makes me go, I need that final issue of Civil War II, and I hope it answers all these questions. If it doesn't, I'm going to be so pissed.
Or at least I hope it points me in the right direction where I can find these answers.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I guess. And may give me a reason to read the Captain America Hail Hydra.
Because I mean, that's just off and on weird because it's good here and it's good there, but then there's spots of that Captain America Steve Rogers book that's just really crap to me. I mean,
yeah.
And just so that everybody's aware, there was a DC Holiday Special book. I mean, it really wasn't nothing special. It was literally all Christmas stories. It was like 7 Christmas stories. Each was kind of narrated by Harley Quinn, and she's like introducing them like basically it's like a Saturday Night Live skit where Harley Quinn is the guest host.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of just tell little Christmas stories here and there with each of the comics. You know, Superman, Batman, Teen Titans, the new Superman adventures. I believe it was Red Hood and the Outlaws as well. The Green Lanterns, the Flash, Wonder Woman, and Constantine. Even had Detective Chimp in there. I mean, it's not really worth to buy, but if you want different styles of art, it's something to pick up, and it was available. So I figured I'd at least say, hey, you know, this was out there. Hey, I skimmed through it. I mean, it's okay. I mean, It felt like Saturday Night Live with Harley Quinn hosting. So
that sounds interesting, but I probably wouldn't like it. But,
yeah, you probably would.
So. All right, well, that's it for us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, viewing, following, tweeting, any and all that stuff. Like we said, we're going to be going to Albuquerque Comic Con. We have a crew going. So Tonebone's going to be going, and we're going to try to do this thing called I'm Right, You're Wrong, where one of us says that Final Fantasy VII is the best Final Fantasy, and then the other person says why they are wrong. So that's what we're going to do. And, of course, we have to talk to Final Fantasy cosplayers to do that, especially with the new 15 come out. We thought, hey, perfect timing. And then, like I said, we're going to do some trash talking with Ric Flair. I don't
have all kinds of fun.
I can't wait to talk to Barb from Stranger Things. And then also, we still have content flowing out from Santa Fe Comic Con, which was in October. And like I said, I've been putting stuff out. Interview with Mattis Matty Cosplay. And then I also put out where it's just fun, the fun stuff that we did. The
Ace Ventura guy was a trip,
Ace Ventura was hilarious. He was so good. Then I was like,
I couldn't hold it together as the cameraman.
Me too. It was hard holding it together even as Kylo Ren, where I was like, I just have to end this because I can't keep my composure. Yeah. So, but yeah, watch that because that one's really fun and really funny, and that's what we're gonna be doing, stuff like that. So,
and then Jesse James Cosplay, where he just took us on a nice little viewing of the floor, and you see all the cosplay and his reaction to the cosplay.
So we want to do a lot of the same stuff, but more like that. And like we're brainstorming, we're coming up with ideas. So
if you have content you would like us to do, let us know.
Yeah, if you have any ideas, you want us to do something or ask somebody something or whatever, just tell us, and we are down for that. So
I wonder if we can get Ric Flair to do I'm a Little Teapot.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. But so yeah, it's gonna be a blast. So I hope you get tickets. I hope we see you there. I hope we see you in cosplay. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do for cosplay yet. I might do 11 since Barb is gonna be there. I'm not sure, or what. I don't know because I want to do related, to them, or just upgrade the cosplays that I have. I'm not sure, because not a lot of time or money. Yep. So it's tough. We'll see what I can whip up. Because I also want to do some improved DBZ stuff, but I'm not sure. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, so keep an eye out for all of our stuff, especially the YouTube. Subscribe to us on there. Watch it, like it. Some of the stuff you get free digital comics on the Talking Nerdy vlogcasts. Hey, there's still a lot of comics available. Like I have a giant stack of comics available for those Talking Nerdy vlogcasts. So go and comment on those videos. If you think like, hey, this has been out for too long, just give a comment and a like on the video, and I'll send you one because I assure you there's still like 5 more comics for each video or a few comics for each video still available. Usually I'll be lucky if I give 1 away. Yeah. Or 2 at the most. But anyways, so yeah, follow us on Twitter, follow us on, like us on the Facebook,
YouTube.
Join us on the Facebook group, community group. There's our Tumblr, I think I already said Twitter. Of course our website. That's where everything shows up. So that's the hub. We don't promote everything through its little things, but mostly from the website. So yeah.
Before we finish up, I wasn't sure if you'd heard of the news, but they finally announced what they're doing with the Harley Quinn movie at this point. It's no longer a Harley Quinn movie.
Gotham City Sirens.
It's Gotham City Sirens. It's being directed by David Ayer, who was the director of Suicide Squad. And there's talk about Megan Fox playing Poison Ivy.
No. I don't know. Like, she's not the worst, but
I'll figure it this way. I'll give her a shot. It can't be any worse than Jonah Hex.
I don't know. Uma Thurman, like, how would you... Like, I don't feel like she's a bad actress. She's Kill Bill, right?
Yeah.
So she did awesome Kill Bill, but she was...
Would Megan Fox have chemistry with Margot Robbie? That's the big question.
That. I mean, Margot Robbie's a phenomenal
and she's gorgeous.
actor.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I mean, Megan Fox has her attractiveness as well, but
even if most of it's fake. But
I don't really see the chemistry there, though. That's the thing.
I don't know. I mean, I can't say. But yeah, I don't know. I'm scared for that. I'm scared for it.
But Gotham City Sirens sounds really, really good. That's something I would watch. Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, with maybe the Birds of Prey as the villains or the antagonists.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That would
see it from the Sirens' point of view and against the Birds of Prey. I could go for that.
And then the Batman movie's on track, and if you've seen, there's some Aquaman footage which came coming out of the water, which is just.
And then they announced the Ocean Master.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Ocean Master is Patrick something. I can't remember his name.
So.
There's a lot of movie news coming out. I mean, we got our Spider-Man trailers, of course. Rogue One came out, which Pablo here has gone and caught it. I have yet to see it, so if you spoil it for me, I will find you and I will destroy you with a lightsaber.
There's nothing to spoil, really.
The Death Star goes boom.
There's nothing to spoil. I don't know I don't even know what people are talking about. Like, don't spoil. Like, what to spoil? What is there to spoil?
I know it happens. They
what
succeed.
Is there to spoil?
They succeed.
What is there to spoil?
I mean, the thing is that I would be looking for all the cameos. I've been seeing these images on the net of the ghosts from Rebels being in the space battle. I've heard that Chopper, the little R4 unit or R2 unit or whatever, is just roaming around on the Yavin base. I noticed that a lot of voice actors from Rebels, Sam Witwer, Vanessa Marshall, Stephen Bloom, James Arnold Taylor, they all have credits within the movie itself as voice actors. But, I mean, I haven't seen the flick yet, so I can't really review it. And I will see it soon. So we'll be able to talk about it as a community, I guess.
Yes. So, keep your eye out for other content, too. I've been recording a lot of stuff with Tonebone. So we actually right now he reviewed Midnight Diner, Tokyo Stories, and he also reviewed World of Warcraft Legion, and then I talked about Mr. Robot and Vikings and some other stuff. So, and then there's going to be more coming out because we have his Japan trip. So that'll be a thing because he has video and all kinds of pictures. So that's gonna be a thing on Facebook, and then we still have our KanjiCon pictures will be coming out in the future, and we did record that. So there's that coming out too in the future. I'm just waiting for the pictures to come out so that I put it all out at the same time.
Then we got some Super coming up.
And then, it's just
so busy with the holidays, all this other content. I mean, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
And if you are keeping track of the Dragon Ball Super, episodes will come out before this week, the week of Christmas, but New Year's, there is not an episode, so I will not post the New Year's episode.
Okay. So, like I said, thank you for following us on our stuff, which you can all find at TNTM The Show. And keep your eyes hungry for
comics.